So as most people know, the Democrat Party's in a very bad situation. It seems like things get worse every single day. And many people thought, though, well, the Democrat Party, they finally hit rock bottom, and this current trade war stuff, it could be enough to regain momentum for this party. And hey, maybe Democrats could experience a resurgence. Well, we're getting brand new polling for the last couple of weeks, and to say things are still pretty bad for Democrats would be an understatement. As according to UMass, which they're not a far-right pollster. In fact, quite the opposite. This pollster in 2024, they dramatically overstated Harris's support in the swing states. But the point is, they did a poll last week, and according to them, Democrats are still underwater. Not by 1 or 2 points. No, no. According to them, the Democrat Party right now has only a 29% approval and a 62% disapproval rating as of now. And this was in the middle of the trade war, which everyone was saying was going to be the end of the Orange Man, the Democrat Party. They're going to regain momentum, and they're going to have a landslide in 2026. They're going to have a landslide in 2028. It's over for the Republican Party. But nope. Despite the fact that Trump's approval went down a little bit, which we'll get to that in a second, the Democrats right now, they're so far underwater that, yes, is this an improvement? Yeah. But for starters, this is a dead cat bounce. This is a dead cat bounce compared to 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, they were at like 20%. Now, okay, they're back at 29%, but this is from a fairly Democrat-leaning pollster, and it's still awful. It's not like they went up 15 points in one day. No. They have a fairly Democrat pollster showing the Democrat Party is way below water. And yeah, Republicans, they're not much better, but at least they're not negative 33. The Republican Party right now, they're closer to like negative 15, which that's not good. It's actually pretty bad. But if you're the Republican Party, you would rather be at negative 10, negative 15, even negative 20 than be where Democrats are, because they're so far below water that even when they have a rebound, they're still negative 33. And people are wondering, what's going on here? Because this trade war stuff, it was supposed to save the Democrat Party, but in reality, no, it didn't. In fact, you could argue all it did was give Democrats a tiny, and I mean a very tiny bump, while the Republican Party and Donald Trump especially, they went down for a couple days, but they're starting to rebound. Which sounds crazy, I know, because everyone was saying, oh, this trade war, it's super unpopular, but look at this. This is a poll from Rasmussen. And I know a lot of people, they're not a big fan of Rasmussen. People are saying they're a far-right pollster. When in reality, you look at the history of Rasmussen, yeah, they have some misses here and there, but they tend to be a very good pollster most of the time. And they do a daily tracker, so they show us how things are trending. And last week, it wasn't that good for Trump, right? Honestly, it was actually his worst week by a lot. Last week, he was at like -5, -5, -6. But then towards the end of the week, it started to rebound just a little bit, because a couple weeks ago, it was like +3. But now, according to Rasmussen, their daily tracker, it's now up to +1 again. That's a 3-point shift in just one day, and a 6-point shift in just under a week. And it's not just that. Look at strongly approve versus strongly disapprove. Obviously, strongly disapprove, that's the Orange Man bad crowd. That's a crowd that no matter what Trump does, they're going to hate his guts. And some people might say they strongly disapprove of Trump because of the trade war. And that's what happened. People were saying, not a big fan of the trade war. Maybe it could be handled better, which you could argue that. But even then, right now, it's -6, which isn't good. But compared to April 9th, it was -14. So in just a week, it swung 8 points towards Trump, and the strongly approve swung 5 points. So it's not just strongly disapprove went down, the strongly approve went up. So this is telling everybody that what happened last week for Trump's numbers, it was a temporary dip for like a week. But now it's starting to go back up, which, by the way, I was saying was going to happen, because guess what? The average voter, they support what Trump is doing with a trade war. But still, it's just crazy to think that the Democrat Party, even with this rebound, they're still so far below water that They're negative 33. And everyone was saying this is going to save the Democrat Party. It's not. All it did was, oh, it saved us from going below 20%, which there's still a chance it happens. I mean, this party is so batshit crazy that I would not be one bit surprised if this party sinks below 20. It's still possible, which I know that sounds crazy, but guys, this party has completely lost their mind. For starters, look at this poll from Survey USA. And they polled just Democrats. These are just Democrat voters. And the Democrat base, which this poll proves how insane these people are. 50% of the Democrat base, right, just Democrat voters, want the party to become even more progressive. I should say progressive in quotations. When they say that, that means they want the party to be more batshit crazy. 24% say stay the same. AKA, the party is batshit crazy, but we like that. It should stay the same. And only 18% of Democrats are saying, oh, hell no, this party has lost it. We gotta moderate quickly because this is insane. And this is a trend we've been noticing for many weeks now. It's like 15 to 20% of Democrats in most polls, they like Trump now. They're saying, we approve of Trump, we like what he's doing, we support him. And it seems like the trend, even post-trade war stuff, it's continuing. These voters, they want the Democrat Party to moderate. They want the party to moderate on stuff like the transgender stuff. They're saying this is insane. Only 20% of Americans support what Democrats support on the transgender stuff. Only 20%. Stuff like trade now. The Democrat Party 10 years ago, they were against free trade. They said, it's a scam, it hurts American workers, we stand with the UAW. But now, these people are so batshit crazy that they changed their entire worldview because of Orange Man. Because of one person saying one thing. You had some of the most anti-free trade people ever, all right, at least in the last 20 years, go from being anti-free trade to loving free trade, loving globalism publicly. A lot of them supported it privately, but publicly for years, these people like Chuck Schumer 10 years ago was against free trade. Now these people, they all love it. That's the problem with the Democrat Party. They've gone so far off a cliff that their base wants to make the party even more radical. It already is. I mean, the Democrat Party is insane already. But this party wants it to, they want the party to be even more insane. And it's not just this poll. We have had a bunch of primary polls for months now. And the same trend is happening here. And look at this poll from Echelon Insights. Kamala Harris fell by 5%. All right, and you would think, okay, this, hopefully for the Democrat Party's sake, hopefully voters are realizing that Kamala Harris is a bad candidate, and maybe they should go with a decent pick like, I don't know, Whitmer or Shapiro. Nope. The only reason Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg and Newsom, the only reason they went down was because Cory Booker is surging. Yeah, the Democrat Party, they didn't give a shit about this guy 2 weeks ago. But because of one speech, one shitty speech on the Senate floor, which did nothing, by the way, it wasn't a filibuster, he just sat there speaking for 20 hours or whatever, that one speech single-handedly made Cory Booker a frontrunner for 2028. What? So you're telling me the Democrat Party, you're going to pick your candidates, not on issues, not on policies, not on anything, but based on one single speech? Now do you understand why the Democrat Party is so unpopular? Their voters are absolutely crazy. These people are batshit crazy, and the politicians are even worse. The politicians within the Democrat Party is somehow more insane, which I don't know how that's even possible. I mean, the average Democrat voter now is already crazy enough. They're already way outside the spectrum on politics. But the politicians are even more deranged. I mean, does everyone know about the El Salvador stuff where they're saying, oh my goodness, this poor father from Maryland, he got deported. He's not even a citizen. There's court documents out there that he's part of MS-13, a very bad organization. Yet the Democrat Party, they're gonna die on the hill of defending a guy from El Salvador that's not a legal citizen of the United States and is a member of MS-13. Now, do you understand why Democrats are doing so bad right now? Do you understand why Democrats are so far below water? Because guess what? The average voter is understanding that they may not like Republicans, they may not like Trump, but good Lord, these people are nuts. These people would rather support and defend an illegal immigrant that shouldn't be here. I don't care if he's a part of MS-13 or not. He shouldn't even be here. But the documents show he is a part of MS-13. And they would rather defend that guy than defend the average American. Hell, the Democrat Party now, they hate Elon Musk so much that they're saying, we gotta revoke the citizenship of Musk, who is here legally. He's a legal citizen. He came here legally. We gotta deport him and revoke his citizenship because Orange Man bad. Gee, I wonder why the Democrat Party is losing. I'm not even saying Musk is perfect. I have some big issues with him. But how can you say you want to deport Musk? He actually does good things for society. He has done a lot of good things in the last 20 years. But no, we gotta get rid of him because Orange Man bad. This is why the Democrat Party is losing. Their base is crazy. They have no clue what they're doing. Their popularity keeps sinking every single day. And they're not helping themselves. In fact, they're actually tripling down on appeasing these radicals. I mean, AOC is going around saying, Trump is a terrible person. He's a rapist. That's real. She actually said that during a campaign event. She was saying he's a rapist. He's like a murderer. It's like, huh? This is who Democrats want?
When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
Again, people may not like Trump, but compared to the Democrat Party, he looks sane. People are like, wait a minute, the Democrat Party, they hate Orange Man so much that they want to keep MS-13 members here. They don't want to deport anybody, and they want America to fail. And it's not just the politicians now, but the base itself loves this. Actually, no, they don't love it. They want the party to become even more radical. They think it's too centrist, it's too conservative, it's too pro-Trump. They want the party to become even more radical. And instead of realizing that these people are nuts and they're going to kill the party and, kill you politically, the Democrat Party, for whatever reason, they're tripling down. They're tripling down in the same BS. I mean, guys, this party is so unserious that they may pick Cory Booker to be their nominee in 2028, not because he's good on the issues or whatever, but because of one speech on the Senate floor that he gave that most people forgot about already. But the Democrat base, they love it. 1 week, he goes up 9 percentage points while everyone else goes down. And now he's in second place. No one gave a shit about Cory Booker 2 weeks ago. Hell, a day before the Senate floor stuff, no one even knew who Cory Booker was. But now he's the greatest thing since FDR. He's the greatest public speaker in history. This is why the Democrat Party, they're losing. They're going to lose in 2028 if this continues. I'm not saying Republicans are perfect, but in my opinion, the Democrat Party, their numbers are going to keep sinking so low that, yeah, people don't like Republicans, but do you think they're going to vote Democrat? Yes, in some circumstances they might if they like the Democrat and the Republican is awful. I get that. But right now at the national level, this party looks dead. This party is looking like a dead party. And I really don't know how they recover from this. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below. Subscribe, share it with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.